Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to dive into an essential concept in Docker ecosystem, Docker images. Docker images are the foundation of how containers work, and understanding them is key to mastering Docker. In this video we will explore what Docker images are, how they work, and how you can use them to build, share, and run application consistently. So let's get started. The first thing, what is Docker image? A Docker image is a lightweight, standalone, and executable package that includes everything you need to run a piece of software. This includes the application code, runtime, libraries, environment variables, and any other dependencies. So, think of a Docker image like a recipe or a recipe. It contains all the instructions and ingredients needed to make your favorite dish. To make your favorite dish. When you want to serve that dish, you simply follow the recipe. The recipe, sorry, not recipe, the recipe. Similarly, a Docker image has everything needed to run an application, and you use it to create a container that can run anywhere. So Docker images are built using a concept called layered images. So let's talk about right now how the Docker images work. And first, let's talk about the first concept, which is the image layers. Docker images are built on using a concept called layers. Each image is made up of several layers stacked on top of one another. These layers represent different parts of the image, like the base operating system, runtime, libraries, and your application code. For instance, when you create a Docker image for Node.js application, you might have one layer for Ubuntu, another for Node runtime, and another for your application code. Docker reuses these layers when building a new images, which makes them efficient and fast. Second, Dockerfile. A Dockerfile is a script that contains a set of instructions on how to build a Docker image. Each command is in the Dockerfile creates a new layer in the image. By writing a Dockerfile, you can define exactly what goes into your image and ensure your application runs consistently across different environments. For example, a Dockerfile might start with a page image like Node 14 version, set the working directory, copy the application code, install dependencies, and then specify the command to run your app. After that, there is a Docker Hub. Once you have your image, you can share it using Docker Hub. Docker Hub is a repository where developers can store, share, and collaborate on Docker images. It's like GitHub, but for containers images. You can pull official images like Nginx or Redis, or push your own custom images for other to use. Okay, let's talk about some commands, some important commands. The first thing I would like to talk about, which will be um, pulling and using a Docker image, for example. So um, you can pull image from Docker Hub using a Docker pull command. For example, it will be something like that: Docker pull, and we wanna pull Nginx, for example, Nginx. This will download the latest version of Nginx image to your local system. You can run container from the image by doing docker run /d/p, and we will talk about what this means in a bit. And the port 880/80, for example, and I'll put like Nginx. This command starts a container from the Nginx image and maps port 80 to the container to port 8080 on your machine. Now you can access the Nginx container by visiting the port 8080. Let's talk about some common uses in Docker. Let me just yeah. Let's talk about some common uses in Docker. The first thing that I would like to talk about in the application packaging in Docker images. So Docker images are versatile and can be used in a variety of scenarios. The first thing we will talk about, it doesn't want to, yeah, okay, it's working now. It works great in application packaging. You can package your entire application along with all its dependencies to ensure it runs anywhere. The second thing, microservices. Each service in microservice architecture can be packed as Docker image, making deployment easy and consistent. It's great in the CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. I use Docker images to create a reproducible builds, allowing for automated testing and deployment. For example, in microservices environment, each service is containerized with its own Docker image. This makes it easy to deploy services independently and scale them as needed. You can build your own image. We can, let's have a quick example on how to create your own image. And let's discuss it. Let's create this image and discuss it. So let's quickly walk through how to build your own Docker image. First, you need to have a Docker file that specifies how the image should be built. And here is an example for Node.js application. This Docker file uses Node version 14 as its base image, sets up the working directory called app. After that, copies over dependencies, installs them, and then run npm, and then run the application. And yeah, that's it. To build the image, you need to have docker build /t, and you put a name for your application. This will be create the image and named, for example, whatever you want to put the name for. So yeah, to sum it up, Docker image is like a recipe that contains everything needed to run your application. It's like had the code, runtime, libraries, and dependencies. Docker images are efficient, portable, and easy to share, which makes them essential part for modern software development. Whether you're building microservices, automating your deployments, or simply creating reproducible environments, Docker images are the key consistency and efficiency. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like it, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content on Docker and in software in general. So that's it for this video, and see you in the future.